to make sure that everyone that is involved will be present. We are very excited to come to that almost final part of our hackathon. And I'm sure that our jury representatives are also super excited to see the presentations of the top solutions from the Hack the Climate hackathon. So maybe I will just check whether all the teams are present, starting with Bieruń. Eco Hackers, are you here? Yeah, I can see.
Yes, we are.
Hi, great.
Yeah.
So the bills representatives. I think not there yet. So we can, yes, okay. Great, yeah, we can see you, can hear you now. From Rzeszów, we have Ailurus.
Yeah, we're here. Hi.
Okay, great.
All.
Blue. Yeah, I can see the nick, so I guess, yeah.
Hello.
Hi. Green City Initiative.
Present.
Okay, great. Then from Stavanger and Setesdal, Continua.
Yes, we are here.
Okay, great. Let's say it in English, PG80K.
Present.
Okay, hopefully Skopta, however I can pronounce that correctly. Here. Great. So you will tell us Tulejówek Hot Dots.
Good afternoon.
Great. Team Kolobot.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, and Zakola Kiptaki. You. Okay, are you with us? I think I cannot really hear. So yeah, since that's the last team that's gonna be presenting today, so we can make sure that they're joining, because it will be interesting to see how they're gonna translate their name maybe. So I think we can start here. So first of all, congratulations to all of you, to all the participants. We were really amazed by the work that you presented only after 2 days, even less than 2 days. So really congrats to you. And yeah, let's just come to the point where we will find out more about the solutions. So we will start in alphabetical order. We will start with the team from Bieruń Challenged Eco Hackers. So yeah, please remember that you have 5 minutes, up to 5 minutes to present your solution. So we will stop it after the time is out, and then we have 2 minutes for question from the jury and our IT and business mentors. So yeah, the stage is yours.
Okay, so can I share my screen?
Yeah, let's try it. Let's have it like a quick technical test.
Okay, I hope
we can see it. Great.
Okay, lovely.
So we start now.
Yeah, so we got the issue, we got the challenge from the Bieruń representatives, and it's they need the platform to communicate with the citizen on their zoning plans, so citizens can actually have an impact, and they can decide on the future of the city. They have the influence on the development of the city to be sustainable and in line with the needs of the residents. So that's the challenge we understood and we got. And our target. Are there issues?
I think that maybe that lies on your hardware, because I think we can hear if anyone else is facing some technical issues.
It's okay.
Okay, so please just continue. Have a few more seconds. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so and we were told that the target group is citizens, but simply everybody. So teenagers and elder people, also like the old citizens. So it has to be simple. So yeah, so that was our plan when we were designing it. Also, the employees of the City Hall of Bieruń will use it because they are like using the comments and the ideas from the citizens. Yeah, so our solution, and it's interactive map and combined with the communication platform, which helps to, which gives the possibility to propose changes, and it's a tool for employees because they can actually import the GML files and use that data on our platform. And I'll just go to our platform, so show it live. So this is how it looks like, and we got the data from the GeoPortal from the Bieruń. So that list that you can see on my screen, I hope you can see it. Could somebody confirm it?
Yep.
Lovely. Yes. Yeah, so that's the list actually from the like the real data from the Bieruń, and so you can click on it. I hope the Teams doesn't make it laggy because it's like yeah, it should move really really like
smooth.
Smooth, yeah, I forgot the word. Thank you. Yeah, so you can move to the zoning plan or the investment plan, which City of Bieruń has. You can write a comment right here. Let's add something. You can add it. And there are comments. It's in Polish. I'm sorry for the non-Polish audience. Yeah, so you can add it, you can comment on it. Also, as I said, you can import the data, and also you can, as a citizen, you can add all of those, edit all of those, and propose the changes. That's the one thing. And the second thing, as an employer, maybe as a citizen also, you can just draw the polygons and give the impact and you know, so maybe my proposal zoning plan, right? You can write it, choose when it's going to happen in the future, right? And I'll just refresh it and it would work lovely. There you go. You can write a comment, as I said, and yeah, that's it. So the whole map contains every zoning plan which was imported with the GML files which we got from the City of Bieruń. And that, I guess that's it. We can move on to the questions, I guess.
Perfect timing. So yes, does our city representative has any questions? The representatives, like our experts from City of Bieruń.
No, don't I have any question?
Okay, so maybe other jury members could.
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Marta Kupisz from PFR. 1 minute. Right now should be better with my voice. I have one question about these comments because I think the main risk is that it may contain also some vulgar comments. Do you have like the idea for someone who will moderate this platform? What the idea for manage this platform?
Yeah, so we prepared right now on the backend because we didn't finish it on the GUI on the front end, on the user interface. But we have on the backend roles because employees from the City Hall of Bieruń could manage the users, could manage the comments. Yeah, so you can actually just take care of it. We can also work with the Bieruń representatives, and we can just allow for the comments only for the logged in users, for example, or maybe even approved users by the admin.
Okay, so your idea consists also administration, admin part with specific roles for people who have to sign up and set up an account, right?
But platform also provides the anonymous access, so maybe a basic user who is anonymous can rate the plan from 1 to 5, and the logged user can't comment. This is a proposal, so this should be implemented in the final application. Now this is only the demo, so we don't have everything on it.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
but that's the that's the only idea. We can actually change it if the representatives wanted to change on the different way. It's not a problem at all.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you for your presentation.
Okay, thank you. I will stop
And
sharing.
yeah, let's give the stage to the next team that was working on Bierun challenge. So just try to connect, share your presentation, and we are waiting for your pitch.
Hello, can you hear me? And can you see me?
Yes.
Okay, can you see the presentation right now?
Yes, we see. So I start to measure the time. Good luck.
Okay, welcome everybody. We'd love to present you Interaktywna Mapa Bierunia, a platform that helps you find a common language with your citizens. Bieruń, we hear you. We understand your needs and the needs of citizens. We understand that the information about investments is hard to read, that residents don't have a platform to express their opinions, and that
Is it only me or everyone else is also facing the freeze?
Same here.
Okay. Is it all together or are you all together?
Yes, there are some difficulties apparently. We don't know what happened yet.
Okay, we can understand. So maybe we could just try again. But then you will have to be the last team. So let's just move to the presentations from Rzeszów challenges, and we'll give you another chance. We'll try again later. So let's just move to the first team from the Rzeszów challenge. So if I'm not wrong, it was blue.
Hi, it's Auliuris, I guess, is the first team in Rzeszów.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can we start?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. That's fine.
Exactly. So let's just try like with the screen sharing, I hope, because we can still see on the previous presentation. Okay, that works. So we are just starting now.
Let's go. Okay, so we would like to show you Polstop, so you will know that you actually prefer the bus. What's our issue? We need to know how to convince inhabitants how to use ecological means of transport to reduce pollution. And generally, how do you want to do it? We want to increase their awareness. We want to make them know that their actual non-material and material costs of car usage is much higher than they think. Generally, we have three areas over here. There's a time. Please remember, Google lies to you. When you plan your travel by car, whole walking trip is not included over there. If you plan your travel by bus, you need to go to the bus stop. Everything is included. So also you lose time for looking on the parking slot, and we need to spend the time to walk to your final destination. Also, there is a cost. If you don't refuel your car every day, you don't notice it. You don't notice parking fees. And the last one, the pollution. Everybody's talking about it, but generally this thing is real. Every travel generates an appropriate amount of carbon dioxide. How do we do it? We want to create an app which will verify parking availability based on data provided from the city. So we'll include this time required for finding of a parking slot to your travel predictions. Also, we can suggest you the other area, other place to park your car, to leave it, if it's less crowded. Generally, please remember that if you go over there, more probably you will need more drive a little further. So it also extend your travel time. And at the end, if you leave your car not in the area you planned before, then you need to walk to your primary destination. Simple as that. Today, this time is not included in travel's predictions. We need to calculate real costs, so include parking fees and fuel costs, and at the end compare it to the bus costs. People generally, they're into their own ideas, their own requirements, so generally they're thinking about cash, and thanks to that we'll create more awareness, we'll decrease this traffic, and we'll make better usage of municipal infrastructure. Timeline is quite simple. We should do it in 5 months, and the technology we used is JavaScript, Java. Generally, we use Google Maps API because for this purpose we can do it with OpenStreetMaps, but today we used Google Maps API because they should have more precise data about time and traffic, what may be not included in OpenStreetMap. And there's also Matips database, which is not currently used, but potentially in the future. Now, Piotr, can I ask you to share a screen so you should see the application? Okay, let's try. Let's try to ride from Auchan to City Hall. Okay, it's on the Rynek 1. This is the city center. We assumed that today this area is super crowded, right? That 95% of parking slots is taken over there. What does it mean? That generally without it, Google will tell you that it will take you 16 minutes to go over there. But we added 15 minutes. This is our assumption. Potentially it can be more adjusted in the future. But this is the extra time you potentially would spend for finding a proper parking slot. Also, there is a cost included. You can switch between cars, like the small car, the compact or SUV. Fuel usage is a little different. Generally, this is true data about the cost. So for sure, riding over here by car would cost you 15 zloty. People generally don't see it every day, right? This is true distance and fuel cost and parking cost. Okay, if you switch to the different, less crowded area like Politechnica, let's say that this slot is less crowded, so we won't add 15 minutes, but just 3 minutes. For sure, less crowded. Maybe
10
now
more
it's
seconds for you
to use a car. Thank you. This is it.
Thank you very much. Again, perfect timing. So I think now we can just move to the questions from the city representatives as well as the jury members. So yeah, please.
Hello,
Łukasz, Tomasz.
Łukasz, have a question. Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. Quite nice. I very like it. Tell me about, do you try to use some activities experience of people? Do you think about this? What about short distance when we enough to just a walk or driving a bike?
Not yet. We included those hulajnogi in these predictions. Scooters, thanks. So yeah, we didn't count it for the shorter distance. Maybe potentially something where we'll store and use the data is gathering history of destinations and travels people were searching for. So this may possibly be an input for better planning of the city infrastructure or planning bus lines or bus lines. So this is it.
Okay, thank you. What about rivalization between people, between a group of people? Do you think about this in in your implementation?
Potentially in the future, but we didn't focus now. Now we came to the conclusion that if I save the money, I win. And as I told you that this financial prediction in this example was true, this is real. Like actually, we weren't aware that it could cost you even 15 zloty to come to the city center just once for one single trip. It's expensive trip.
Okay, I understand. Finance are the strong motivation. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have enough. Do you?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. So just to keep on track and watch our time, I think now we can move to the next presentation, which is Blue.
Okay, hello, hi. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear. Let's try to share the screen now.
So we are trying to share a screen. I hope there will be no interference between these all machines here. Can you see our presentation?
Yes, I'm just starting the time now, so good luck.
That's great. So we created Rzeszów Eco Route Planner. So this is an application that should solve a problem about a number of cars in the city center or in the entire city of Rzeszów. We know that there are multiple alternatives like public transport, suburban trains, bicycles, electric scooters, taxis, and other things, and of course walking. So we would like to convince people to use this other alternative means of transport. So the target user is of course every resident and visitor of city of Rzeszów, because that probably could be helpful for visitors too. So we created a web application for users. It's already ready for use. We will show it to you in 2 minutes probably. So selected functionalities are creating user profiles with user-specific communication modes, preferences, and list of addresses, searching for routes for several means of transports, and ability to keep statistics on selected route variants. So application looks like that. So we can create a route from and to, and we are receiving variants about every different kind of means of transport. So we can see how it could look like by bus, by bike, by foot, by electric scooter, by scooter, taxi, tram, bus, whatever. Multiple, it's like 10 different calculators. So we are using reverse geocoding for taking these coordinates, and we are estimating distance, time, costs, calories burned, and CO2 emission for every variant. So, for example, for bike, it will be 0 CO2, and for car, it depends on multiple variables, because we are taking informations about fuel type, about consumption, whatever. So we can also add information about if we have our personal electric scooter, or if we have any accounts in Blinky, in Bolt, if we have any seasonal tickets for trains, for buses, for stuff like that. And we can calculate all these different routes with different parameters. So technological stack, it's Laravel with Postgres, with Vue.js. It's all in Docker, so it's extremely easy to use. We are ready to launch it until April 24, and we have working solution demo. And I hope it's not my computer. Can you see?
In case you can also just share the link here in the chat, so maybe everyone could just have that click individually, and maybe we could use that roundabout and then come to the questions part. You still have 1.5 minutes, so don't worry.
These are some statistics. It's really basic.
We don't see the presentation anymore. I don't see the presentation, so maybe just try to share it again.
So the solution?
Okay, so give me 1 second.
Yeah.
We can.
So let's just try to share the link and the screen.
Okay. What about
Okay.
now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so we have this website, we have this profile. We can change all the stuff in this profile. We have some really basic statistics. It's the base for the further gamification of the application, but it's already saved in database, but we need to create something more specific. And this is the map. We can see all the parking zones in the city. We can see what's the range of electric scooters, of Blinky. We can see even all bus stops, but it's like 900 of them. So I will probably hide them. We can, for example, do something like this. And here we have like few different routes. The best is communication by bus. There is a bike. We have integration with weather service, so we can tell the user that there is a snow. So bike is idea. Okay.
With that sentence exactly, I would like to come to the Q&A part, so the city representatives can add some questions here, as well as the other jury members, obviously.
Yes, you have question, Łukasz.
Okay, I have seen the completely solution for our city. Tell me only one thing. What about the map? This is from Google or OpenStreet?
No, this is OpenStreetMap. We are not using any Google services because it's too expensive. We did the math and it's really expensive. There is a solution to set up the entire OpenStreetMap server for routing and geocoding on your premises. So it would be free if you had some machine to handle it.
I didn't see two things, and I will ask about this. What about air pollution measuring system? Did you use them in your solution or not? Because I didn't see them.
No, but of course we can integrate it. Everything is ready to implement other APIs and other services.
Okay. And what about some rivalization between people, group of people?
Yeah. We can choose some variant of this route on every search, and if we save it into our database, we can see it on your statistics page. So right now, it's only distances and calories burned summed up, but all data is in the database. So we didn't have more time to do something more complex, but all data is here. So with one more day, we would be probably ready to show you something.
Okay, and tell me at the end, last thing, how did you calculate the calorie? This independent, I am a man or woman, about my age or not?
In ideal world, probably in this profile, we would have some input to put your weight and age and height and things like that.
Nice.
And try to average calories burnout. So for now, it's extremely easy, but it's of course we can extend it, we can change it.
Yeah, it's the trip duration multiplied by something in vector for different kinds of traffic modes. So if you walk, it's less. If you ride a bike, it's more. But it depends on the time of duration. So
fantastic job. Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the Yeah, thank you for the questions. Thank you for the presentation. And now we have the Green City Initiative, also working on the Rzeszów Challenge. So yeah, let's try to connect your presentation.
Yeah, hello everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear, we can see the presentation. So I'm just starting to measure the time.
Okay, so my name is Mateusz Twiek and I represent the Green City Initiative team. And after 48 hours of debating, discussion, and coding, I'm glad to present now our solution, GreenGo, which confronts a problem defined by the city of Rzeszów. So what's the problem? Problem defined by the Rzeszów, it's widespread and also affects all major cities in Poland. So how to convince citizens, inhabitants of Rzeszów to use ecological and alternative means of transport in order to reduce congestion and CO2 emission. The other important question is who will be the recipient of our solution. And we decide that actually it could be anyone who lives or stays in Rzeszów. GreenGo, it's a mobile application that motivates people to use alternative and ecological means of transport, such as city buses, bicycles, electric scooters, or even walking, by raising awareness of their climate impact change and rewarding those activities. The key functionalities that our application provide are, first of all, automatic analysis of the chosen means of transport. We know when and how you use them by analysis real-time data. We've developed a multi-factors module of counting points and collecting rewards for activity, which takes into account the current traffic in the city or even air pollution. We analyze each ride, providing detailed information on the amount of money saved and the reduction of carbon dioxide emission in the atmosphere. Let's dig a bit deeper into our solution. So how we analyze user activity. So we based on the live data on the location and roads of buses, and we are able to tie your activity to a specific bus line. In addition, based on your location data, we take into account the possibility of using other ways of transport, as bicycles, scooters, or walking. As a result, user does not have to manually enter any additional information, and the risk of fraud is significantly reduced. How we reward people, how we calculate the points. So we've processed the data of urban traffic volume in Rzeszów, and we know when and at what time there is the highest traffic volume. Then the number of points per ride can increase, reducing traffic jams in the city. In addition, we add points for riding public transport when the air quality is poor in order not to worsen the already poor situation. Collected points can be exchanged for any rewards. We assume the possibility of partnership with local businesses, museums, anything that will encourage citizens to use eco-transport. So awareness. We believe this is also a very important aspect and factor of the solution. So we've implemented modules to analyze the saving associated with the use of the means of transport in relation to the combustion engine car. We take into account numerous parameters such as the type of fuel, the average fuel consumption of your car, or even paid parking zones in Rzeszów. This is really incentive for residents to use the app. What are the benefits of implementing our solution in Rzeszów? I think after this brief examination that the benefits are obvious, but we can summarize them. For the user, it's a powerful incentive to use urban and ecological means of transport. For the city, it's reduced emission and improved congestion. In addition, it also gives feedback from the user regarding their opinion on public transport. For local businesses, it's an opportunity to promote their offer to citizens. What more about the technology and data that we used? The application was created using React Native and Node.js. The analytical part was written in Python. The data we are able to use is the measured traffic volume in Rzeszów, paid parking zones, prices of scooters and bikes offered by Blinky, and the air quality API. Scaling our solution for other cities is also not a problem. Our application deployment schedule for Rzeszów is very simple. We want to talk more about the assumption again at the beginning, then finish application and start the pilot. Our team combines all areas necessary for successful implementation. And finally, I want to show you the demo of our app that you can see. So here's a welcome screen. There's some basic information. What's the target? What's the main goals of using application? Then you can select the parameters of your car that you is using, and it gives you an annual summary of how much you can save using alternative the public transport.
And the time is up, so yeah, we can just click through it and come to the questions part.
Okay.
Thank you.
We want more application. Could you show us this application to end?
You see, you're saved.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just explain what's here. So yeah, at first we get some parameters annual summary. There is a main panel that you can information. You can you have the points that you're collecting. There is air quality. There is a bus related to the traffic in the city. You can get also extra points when the air pollution is low and to take a bus rather than your car. There is the history of your activities and your targets and so on. Also in the top there is you can create the teams and compete to each other. And when you click start, it starts counting. Collecting the points and measuring the time, and at the end there is a summary when you have all the information of your trip. So there is information about how long does it take, what's the emission, reduced emission. Here we are comparing everything to the car, what type of activity we detected. So this kind of it's a bus. What's bus line is tied to your activity. What was the bus and what's your saving. And at the end, you can also give feedback in the application. So if you like it, whether you like it or not, what part you don't like it. So that's the feedback for the city to the improvements.
Thank you. And maybe I will also make sure whether our IT mentors have some questions here. Other representatives of the jury?
Did you use some other things of movement like carpooling or walking just?
Yeah. We can by analyzing the localization and the average speed and so on. We have the function that what type of transport you use. So we have bus, we have scooters, we have also walking and so on. So it could be also. I think it could be difficult part to decide whether it's a scooter or, for example, I don't know, electric bike or something. But we can also think about using some QR codes for this to be sure what type of the means of transport were used.
No, thank you. This is all.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. So thanks to all the teams that were presenting the Rzeszów solution ideas. And now we can move to the Norwegian challenge, so Stavanger and Setesdal. The first team that's going to present is Continua. So let's try to connect. Let's make sure that we see your presentation, and then I will start to measure the time. All right, yeah, so we don't hear you yet. Just see. Still no sound?
Still no sound?
Okay, now we can hear, so let's try. Good luck.
Thank you. Now, we've talked about we've developed a solution to predict nutrient runoff to Hålandsvannet. And nutrient runoff, it costs money and crops. Our farmers spend an extraordinary amount of money on fertilizer, only to see it washed out of the soil into our waterways. No one wants this. There are several actors who play a role in this ecosystem. You have city planners, we have farmers, we have advisors to the farmers. All of them will be interested in our solution, and all of them will be able to use it. Now, we have developed this stuff this weekend. We developed a machine learning model and 2 pipelines to get the information to the user. And this MVP is based on 1 property. We train our machine learning models on a thorough historical data set for all nutrient groups, potassium, nitrogen, phosphate, and how they move with heavy downpour. We've taken 6 years of daily measurements from 10 collection points across Norway, and this gives us a very high accuracy in our prediction. This allows our predictive model to generalize and reuse for the local conditions around Hålandsvannet, based on the specific weather forecast. So we have a 10-day weather forecast that is reasonably, relatively accurate here in Norway, and that gives us a 10-day forecast under normal circumstances with normal fertilizing usage for runoff from a specific field. Based on, and for all 4 of the new, all 3 of the nutrients. This can give anyone insight into the runoff of any property they are interested in, and we intend to publish this as a public web map. We developed the solution so that it's a plug and play into any industry standard GIS software. Property owners, they can even subscribe to alerts for their own fields. We intend to further enhance the model with an API where we get real-time data from the project that collects this. We intend to then plug in commercially off-the-shelf farm field sensors, such as the ones that 7sense provide, that gives us real-time reading of nutrients in the soil and water level in the soil, as well as international data. This also ensures that this is peer-reviewed, and anyone who's interested, NGOs, interest organizations, concerned neighbors, that they all can provide input eventually. Our solution is based on kicking off with an updated weather forecast. We run the model, and then we compare against thresholds for drinking water. And then we send off an alert. We envision that as a paid feature. And we produce GeoJSONs, which can easily be distributed as a map layer on a GIS server. These would be the map layers that you would see. This is our MVP field. You see a sliver of Hålandsvannet on the top right. And this is, and you see the property number. Every property in Norway has a property number. Benefits are quite obvious. Farmers spend less money on fertilizer and get a better yield. And as a consequence, the public waterways get less polluted. The tech stack we've based heavily on machine learning and TensorFlow, written in Python, as well as the other stuff that you see here. The GitHub repository and the README has a lot more info here. And the team consists of data scientists who are strongly positioned to actually use that technology. And we want to use it to get ready for the fertilizing seasons that starts on the 15th of February. And then we want to further develop so we can do production testing together with third parties. And we want to enhance the model to include climate models and other stuff before Nordic Edge in May. Less pollution, more food for less money. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the presentation. Again, perfectly on time. So now we can move to the Q&A part. So it's time for the questions from the jury. Representatives of Stavanger and Setesdal region, are there any questions appearing, or maybe other members of the jury, or some questions from our IT mentors? Yeah, feel free to use that time.
I have one question. You said before that you right now you're using only one factor to predict the pollution. Can you say something about other factors which you can use in the full version of application?
Yeah, and I think you misunderstood me. We don't only use one factor. The data set that we trained the machine learning model on takes into account historical runoff from all over Norway, as well as temperature, time of year. There's freezing in the middle of the winter. The farmers aren't allowed to fertilize at that point. But for now, the only new input when we do the prediction is the local weather forecast. There are established data collection points around Lake Hålandsvannet. They've been manually collected, so we didn't use that data. It wasn't really useful for machine learning. But we would put sensors like the one from 7sense. It's a commercially available sensor that gives us the same data. As well as the fact that we haven't actually had an API into the database from Juva. And they have 30 years of data to train the machine learning model on, and we only scraped 6 years of it. We would have gotten access if this was during the week, but it was in the weekend, so we couldn't get access. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So are there any questions? Okay, I can see Gunnar. So yeah, please ask your question.
Yeah. Hello, thank you for a good presentation. Just to clarify, I believe you mentioned that this could be integrated into GIS systems in the municipality, but are you also thinking about this being too many without integration?
Sorry, Gunnar, you dropped out just as you asked the question. You said, are you thinking of?
You're probably thinking of a lot of things. Are you thinking of making this into a standalone solution that can be offered to many cities or municipalities?
A standalone background solution. The time has passed, I think, for creating standalone map applications.
Okay.
Users are much more interested in seeing it together with other data rather than going to our website. So we will provide a WMS, which is web map service, which can plug into Google Maps, OpenStreetMaps, Norgeskart, Temakart Rogaland, into any mapping software, because they all use the same standard underneath. So we'll deliver into the public domain, and we'll make a business out of alerts.
Okay, thank you.
So thank you very much once again. And now we can move to the next presentation of the Stavanger Setesdal Challenge.
Which is?
Polish Japanese Academy, PG80K, to use the abbreviation.
Yeah, thank you very much. Can you confirm that the slides are
not yet visible?
And the screen is visible yet? Can you hear me loud and clear?
You can hear, and now we can see the screen. So I will just start to measure time.
Thank you very much. So our goal is to find out a solution how to predict and alert whenever there's agricultural pollution present in the lake. So in order to make sure that the quality of water that we have in the lake are improved. So once we have this information in real time, we are able to improve agricultural practices as well. So then we can enhance the trust between the citizens, farmers, and local authorities that are going on here. So we define 3 roles or 3 uses possible of using this system. Citizens who have general access to real time, farmers which have maybe more focus to the location present, and we also have authorities which are maybe dealing with the whole system at all. Would like to see overview of current measurement performed here. The problem with authorities here is that we have actually two involved parties that we learned during the discussion with the city representative. We have Stavanger and Randburg. How to make sure that both participate in the solution, which is quite challenging because one is 10 times bigger than the second one. We have idea for that. So we believe, contrary to previous presentation, that this solution is quite complex. It requires multiple present systems. So our solution consists of 4 parts. The first one will be web application, which will be dealing with gathering the data. There is a database connected to the part, and mobile client, which will be capable of sending the alerts to the interesting parties. There will be AI models for doing the prediction, and we need to have more data than we have right now. In order to make the real-time data prediction, we need to have better sensor modules. So actually our solution contains of 4 building blocks. Of course, all of them are MVP, but we provided an examples of implementation or proof that we are capable of delivering them. So key functionality of our system, we will be having real-time measurement. We will have to store them in database. We will show the trends, show the alerts, and managing farm maybe based on the data we can provide and what kind of fertilization strategy should be utilized here. So our key idea is the following. So we have our lake. We will focus initially on Hallandsvatnet, which is already providing the data from sensor, but the data is measured every 2 weeks. So we would like to have a sensor, inexpensive sensor put inside the lake, closing waterproof closing, capable of real-time communication. Inexpensive, not precise, but we can later on then compare them with real-time, the more precise information. So our sensor, we use a specific LoRa communication protocol. It's a radio frequency using 363 megahertz communication to gateway, and then we move the data to cloud. It's interesting part with this LoRa protocol is that it's absolutely free of license. You don't have to pay to use it. You just need a special equipment that we can provide in final solution. So in that, when we have this system present, we'll be capable of providing better personalized insight about the system here. So another part that we learned during our discussion with representative of the city, that there is actually a school that is capable of providing in Randburg interested in AI. So maybe we can work together. Maybe that is just first step into connecting them with workshop. We can help them to understand the system, and they can later on put the sensors, and maybe you can work together with implementing that as well. Okay, so our team, my name is Paweł. I will do the business part. Technical expertise is Tadeusz, doctor and PhD in AI, and we have a graphic designer, Veronica. Fantastic job created here. Technology that we use, a lot of popular stuff here, all of open source, free of charge. I will not go to the details, but you don't have to pay anything to use them here. So let's go. We also created a plan how we see that implementation of the parts. So there will be phases created here. The iteration of the hardware needs to be created, but also we involved that you would like to have some maybe workshop with this school that I mentioned here. There's a link with detailed plans that you can find out, even divided into sprint here. So let's go into the demonstration maybe. So first part, there's an AI model here. So we actually get the data from the challenge here. There's not much there, so we can use just basic neural network. Data here that is actually trained. You can see neural network trained here, and we have a graph of our neural network, so it actually managed to use that. We have a mobile application that we can just, for that we have just basic mockup.
This
that you can,
signal that we've heard, maybe it was also your timer. So I think we are now.
No, I have just,
yeah.
Okay, last sentence here. We also build a model of lake with a sensor. You can see the green light, which is actually showing if everything is fine. And I have deadly poison here created here. I will put that into the lake. Don't do that in home. And if our system is working, the diode will turn red and put the sensor to the cloud. And you can see I polluted the Hallandsvatnet. Don't do that at home. There's deadly poisons here. So we detected that and put this information to the cloud. You can see in the system the measurement is doing in real time. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you also very much for that magical effect that we had. And now I think we can just move to the Q&A session. So please, the representation of Stavanger and Setesdal, as well as our other jury members, please do not hesitate to ask the questions. Yes, please, Gunnar.
Yes, curious about what hardware you breathed. What kind of costs are we talking about if we were to do something like this?
Yeah, so it depends on sensors. So far, right now, we use two of them. So there's the temperature module connected here that is cost something around 10 zloty, which is €2. This is water level sensor, which is costing around €1. Microcontroller that we connected here is very cheap, very widely available Arduino, which you can buy for €4, but that's not enough. In order to make the system useful, you would like to consider adding 3 more sensors: PhD, turbidity, and total dissolve solids. Each of them costs something around €10.
Thank you. Just a quick follow-up to that. I can imagine that those kind of sensors are not maybe the most accurate sensors. How would you cope with it not being 100% accurate?
Yeah, so that the goal is here that we will continue to gather the sensor from a precise laboratory that is provided every 2 weeks, and we will have cheap version and the precise one. We can then build an AI algorithm that will use a lot of imprecise data and try to transform them to find the correlation between the real one. It would require additional AI algorithm, probably unsupervised one, but that can be happening in later stage when we have more data available, and but we are capable of providing them as well.
Great, thank you.
So also thank you very much once again. And yeah, now it's the time for the third team to present your solution. So let's have that presentation and voice checkup, and then we can start with the 5 minutes presentation. Okay, so we already see it. So let's just yeah.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, so let's just start.
Okay. So our application is our application is our application is Vanvokter, which is a guardian of environment. The main idea of our application is offering a scheduling feature, allowing farmers to select optimal days for crop fertilization. So we thought a lot about how we would bring benefit to farmers, and the main feature is allowing them to gather data about their crops, the amount of used fertilizer, and and other information about running the farm, so so that they could optimize their spendings and select the best time for doing things. So what is Vanvokter? Vanvokter meaning Water Guardian is an application designed to track and address pollution resulting from the fertilization of fields near lakes. Our application has 3 main objectives, which is storing data from farmers, storing data from like water samples, allowing citizens, farmers, and local authorities to have one place where they are gathered. Okay, so this is a view of the application. It also allows farmers to view events that local authorities wants to show for farmers. So basically, if there is some grants and farmers are not aware of their existence, they can see. They can get informed by this platform. Also, they can gain more knowledge about changing environments, for example, droughts that also impact the crops. Yeah, okay. Integrity. So what brings our application? This is a second function. So local authorities can see every farmer and also every gathered sample. It is possible to also display gathered sample water samples, and they based on that they can see how actions made by farmers. So, for example, fertilizing some field impacts pollution tested near the lake. Okay. Implementation. So we use .NET for backend and Angular from frontend. There are technologies that are new and are scalable. Also, we integrated a calendar that displays weather for 10 days ahead. With that information, farmers can choose explicitly when they want to fertilize, for example. This is
I think now we should already move to the Q&A part. So maybe we can still have some more explanation of your project in that Q&A part. So yeah, I hope that our mentors, like that our city representatives, have some question as well as the jury members.
Okay.
Yeah, any raised voices or okay, Pavel. Someone was okay. So I thought someone was unmuted. So okay, Gunnar.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you explain a little bit more about the data you are using, where it comes from, and how you are processing it?
Okay, so this data displayed here is available for is created by farmers, so by users, except weather forecast is from API given. Okay, so farmers they can create their accounts and choose basically right into their actions, so fertilizing time and other data, and then local authorities. This is a view of local authorities. So every data is displayed, and then local authorities can see farmers. For example, this farmer is taking some action here, and later on it can also display that it's fertilization of some field. It also can be selected on specific fields. Together with displaying information about water samples, someone can make a conclusion based on that information.
Thank you very much. I think there are no more questions arising. So thanks to all of the teams that were working on the challenges of Stavanger and Setesdal. And we can now move to Sulejovec. And the first team that's going to present its hot dogs.
Hello, everyone. Let me share my screen.
Yeah, so we see the screen where we can hear you. So I start to measure the time. Good luck.
Hello, everyone. I'm planning to introduce you to a hot dot solution for Sulejovec project. We want to solve your difficulties of communication and greenery loss. As we found out, you need to discourage your residents from unnecessary cutting of trees. With our solution, we're able to fulfill needs of every shareholder who benefits from urban greenery and make your decision-making power increase significantly. Sulejovec has various data sets from different years, and we would like to use them splendidly. We will use LiDAR point clouds to isolate each tree by finding their local maxima and estimate their area and volume. On this image, you can see polygons of trees that our algorithm detected. As you can see, we have no problem finding trees for huge areas of different point density. As the final result will be a point layer, these polygons will be filtered and processed for the best quality. Further, we will try to separate trees into deciduous and coniferous with help of NDVI, which will help assess CO2 filtration. We can make more distinguished spatial analysis like urban heat island or vicinity of main roads, which potentially can be included in our shapefile. As the final result, we will provide you a shapefile of trees that can charge your data sets, a map module that displays your data, a cutting permit request module, in short, CPRM, to help your residents more easily understand the procedure of cutting trees on their plots, and a calculator module helping you estimate your tree's value. The tree map module will neatly display your trees and their values on a 2D map. The CPRM is a web bookmark that will guide your residents through procedure of cutting their trees depending on their properties. The TVCM will more accurately calculate your individual tree CO2 filtration by the properties you enter. Using our solution, you notably increase decision-making power of the city. You get the tool to share meaningful data and with your residents in a very graphic way. You simplify the process for everyone and make your decision based on clear information. This is the data, tools, languages, and web solutions we use for this project. And what's important, it is all open source. In December, we will be discussing more in detail about our solution. Until the end of January, we'll deploy our web modules on the website. Then in February, we will provide a tree vector layer with feasible for implementation properties. March will be a month of client testing, so we could finalize the project until April. As you can see, we are a very experienced team of professionals. We specialize in urban design, spatial data computing, and informatics as a whole. And now I would like to show you a brief video of our coding process. So here it is. There's a lot going on at once, but these are two separate algorithms. I'm going to show you some of our work in progress results. So this is our web module where we where we can fill a form to tell our residents how to tell the legal way to cut their trees. If, for example, I can enter a circulus of the tree, it would tell me that I don't need any permission for it. But if I have a higher circulus, I will have to give some more detailed legal data, and the system will tell me where to go to fill my papers. Also, the other tab is the calculator of CO2. So here we also enter the circulus of our tree's trunk, the height of it, and the species. So it can more precisely count the CO2. Yeah, and also this is our map, a work in progress, which will.
That's also the end of your time, so we can move to the questions now. So maybe the city mentors, yeah, Agata, please.
Yeah, I would like to see a little bit more about the map.
Yeah, that was I didn't have time for it, but these are the results. We computed the LiDAR data for half of the city for now, because the city has less and more actual up-to-date data. So we only have the eastern part for now. So here you can see the polygons of the detected trees and the centroids that have the properties that we calculated so far. Here is the area of the crown above sea level height and the height of the tree. And if we estimate now that each tree is a cylinder, we can easily count CO2. But if we try to distinguish the coniferous and deciduous trees, we can make it more accurate. But for more detailed data about species, we would need a much higher, a much denser point cloud, but it should be acquired in the vegetation time in the summer. But unfortunately, we are up to we are due to April, right? So we just use what we have.
And does the solution take into account the use of new data along with its updates?
Yeah, we have algorithms, two algorithms. One is in R that just takes an input of LiDAR data. You can download it from our National Geoportal and input it to the algorithm. And the second algorithm uses the computed tree crowns and calculates with DEM, digital elevation model, the height of the. This is the DEM. It calculates the height of the tree just by the difference between the DEM elevation and elevation of the top point of the tree.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation and for that additional explanation. So now let's just move to the next team, which is Team Collabot. Also would like to make sure that Zakola Kiptak is with us. So just if you could just confirm, because I know that you had some issues. That would be
yeah, we are present.
We're all here.
Okay, great. So let's just move to Team Collabot, and then the next team, it's going to be Zakola Kiptaki. And afterwards, we will be back to the bills from Bieruń. So yeah, please, let's please connect your some noise. some terrible noise. We cannot really hear you. Yeah, techno party. We cannot hear you. We are really suffering right now. So we need a screenshot. Okay. Now let's try. Okay, yeah, Gunnar is prepared.
How about now? How about now?
Now, yes, let's try.
Can you hear us now?
Exactly,
Yes.
we hear you, and
So,
let's
okay,
try
sorry
to
for all
connect everything.
technicalities.
Okay, great.
Yeah, sharing our screen. Just a second.
Great.
Window and
Yeah, we woke up, so maybe that was your idea, just to keep us awake.
yes, I think so.
Oh,
We'll stick with that.
Oh, everything's clear now. Great. So.
Okay. Can you see us? Can you see our screen?
Yes. So I start to measure the time. Enjoy.
Okay. So the question and task that was presented to us was to how to estimate the value of trees, and well, maybe it was not about. It was actually the two-parter. The first part was to count the amount of trees in the specific area of Sulejovec, and the second one was to measure and present some kind of way for the patents, clients, and city clerks to get this data in a fine and cool way to convince someone not to cut the tree. So we have started with the counting of the trees and building a model so that we will be able to get all the trees that we want in a specific area, and we actually did it. From the system user perspective, we have the petitioner and the clerk. So the clerk will be the one that will be presenting these data from our application to the petitioner that wants to change the state of the tree to the wood. And yeah, as for our solution, we use the LiDAR data, also like the previous team, to plot the points on the whole map of Sulejovec. And then from that data, we started treating them as a part of ecosystem, not as a singular tree, but part of the ecosystem in some kind of context. So we take an approach to get the data about the plots from the whole city and take into account the specific ecosystem in which the treaty is stated. In that case, the plot for the which is our contextual thing for the tree, and to measure the percentage of forest cover in that specific plot. And then to give additional parameters if you want to ever change the specific ecosystem. And in this case, will be the effect of temperature, effect of percentage of that cover for the forest to be cut out, and the carbon dioxide segregation after cutting the tree. So yeah, this is how we do it, and my friend Tomek will present that.
Yeah, so I'll talk a bit about the data processing. So as an input, we also take the LiDAR data, so the height information about the terrain. We filter out everything that is not trees, and then we chunk this data into smaller chunks because there are a lot of those points. So we want to have this rasterized, and then we clusterize this data to figure out what are the individual trees on the map. So therefore, we can figure out what are the singular trees on the map, and we can map it back to the actual layout of the city, which we also get from the portal, from the Geo portal, and that results in our application. So we map both the plots of lands into the map, and we map all the trees that we detected. You can currently, and as we store both the information about the individual trees and also about the position and size of them, we can also then estimate on what is the tree coverage for every plot of land, and we can calculate extra statistics about, for example, the CO2 impact of cutting individual tree based on the size of this individual tree. And then within the map, you can click on individual plots of land to get some extra statistics. And then you can also click on the individual trees to get the statistics about what is the negative impact of cutting this individual tree down.
Just going back a little bit to that previous slide, and that's a clarification, because we have a lot of colors in here, and we wanted to make sure that it will be well presented, and each color cluster is actually one tree on our map. So yeah, from perspective of our system. So basically, we are coloring the points for the map and presenting in such way.
And worth noting is that those data points are already stored in the database, in the Postgres database. So this data is also very easily accessible for other applications and systems to derive some other information from that data.
Okay, so maybe let's talk some more about the benefits that our system can bring to the end users. So obviously, it's increased public awareness about the trees and their impact on our lives, on the various ecological measurements we've talked previously already. We believe that implementing the solution, not just the map, but also the forms for the patents and forms for the clerks, may reduce the number of applications, but also reduce the time of processing of each application, because you can easily pinpoint the eventual case where you don't need to process further the application. Also, talking about our tech stack, we've used Python because it's very popular in terms of data processing services. As we mentioned before, we've used Postgres database and PostGIS because all the data in our system is GIS compiled. Also, we've managed to create an API. It's not only a proof of concept, we really did it.
And we have to move here to the Q&A part. So thank you for the presentation.
Absolutely.
And yes, let's just, yeah. I give the floor to Agata.
Thank you for the presentation. I'm impressed with your work. I have one question. Maybe you considered capability of this application to consider the impact of greenery on the market value of the property, as it's higher with the bigger share of trees on the property. Would it be possible to add such functionality?
Oh yes, yeah. So it definitely would be possible. So for currently, for example, we are displaying the impact on the temperature change on the plot of land, but we also have we can assign each tree to a plot of land. So we can say, oh, there is a coverage of 20%, it would be reduced to 10%, and that would result in some percentage drop in the price of the land. Of course, that would have to be fine-tuned when it comes to the parameters on how do we calculate this decrease of price. But of course, we could implement something like this.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
And there is a question, exactly, yes.
Do you have any working demo or something like that? Because previously you show us some screenshots, and I wonder, screenshots from real app, or do you just?
Yeah. So this is our app.
Can you see a screen? Because
sorry. Yeah. Can you still see the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So this is our app. So let's see. I can click on this plot of land. Let's see. We get some statistics from here. I can then click on a tree on this plot of land as well, and we get some extra statistics here about this specific tree, including the potential impact that it would have on the, let's say, deforestation of this plot of land, which would decrease it by 3%, by 3 percentage points in this case.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So the time is running out. So let's move to Zakolakip team. Zakolakip Taki team, sorry.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Let's just wait for the presentation.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay, can you see it now?
We can, yeah, see us ourselves.
Okay, that's
now
great.
it's working. So I start with the time.
Yeah, so carbon footprint of the trees. Outline of the problem. The carbon footprint, also known as the ecological footprint, is a measure of the impact of human activities on the environment, particularly in terms of greenhouse gas emissions. The scale of the carbon footprint assesses the amount of greenhouse gases, mainly carbon dioxide, released into the atmosphere. Luckily, this process can be offset by, among many other things, trees. And that's particularly why the issue of city of the Zlojovec is so concerning. Over the past 5 years in the city of Zlojovec, over 1,700 trees have been cut down. What's even more worrying is a noticeable upward trajectory. That's why our aim is to inspire and mobilize people to participate in our attempts in reversing this trend. Our algorithm and databases. So we wanted people to see the true impact of cutting down the tree. This means understanding how tree felling affects our daily lives. And that's why we have collected a database of roughly 30,000 trees in the city of Sulejówek. Moreover, we have developed an algorithm that calculates how much CO2 a given tree absorbs annually. We also have data that allows us to illustrate the equivalent of burned cigarettes, kilometers flown by a plane, and even human breaths. Here is the process of making this database. We used a website called Mapa-Drzew, and we've exported the data into Excel sheets. Here's some screenshots of our app and and explanation of our algorithm and further possibilities. So the main thing is, how do we calculate it? So knowing that approximately half of the dry weight is carbon, you can divide that by 2, and then roughly 50% of it is carbon. So multiplying that number by 3.6, and this is how we know how many kilograms of carbon dioxide has been absorbed by a tree through its lifetime. And simple enough to calculate yearly absorption, we divide lifetime absorption with tree's age. Our algorithm can be used to display information on billboards or on television or mobile devices, calculating how it impacts the environment and comparing it to other things that leave their footprint. Also, besides that, the algorithm can be used to calculate and show how many trees will cover town's carbon footprint. And talking about future possibilities, with increased access to data, we could enhance the precision of calculations, including factors like type of the tree, for example. That would be it, speaking about the presentation. And now my colleague Maciek is going to show how the app works and explain it just a bit better.
Okay, so you can show the presentation, share your screen. Okay, so here's our app, and you can click start. It's still in early phase because we want to improve it as much as we can. And the main goal of this app is to get to people. So we want to show them real values. For example, they can set diameter and height of the tree, and of the tree they want to cut. And we have statistics that shows the person that want to cut the tree, how many cigarettes how many cigarettes they would, I don't know. We want to show them the equivalent of in cigarettes and that they would smoke of how of the impact that cutting down the tree would have. And also we can see that we have other things that they can see. For example, how many breaths and it would take them away. And what can I say? That's basically it about our application. I mean, that's the end. And do you have any questions about anything? Yeah.
Yeah, those data from Tree Crown map is a commercial one. Have you considered what's the cost of acquiring this data?
It's free. It's completely free. So that's not the problem here.
And another question, what are your server infrastructure requirements to implement this solution?
I'm not the person that should answer that. Maybe other. I mean, our main technician is not here today. He couldn't join, but maybe other person from our team could answer that. Maybe Maciek, do you know something about that?
So as far as we could do for free, we used the available data from the Mapa-Drzew.com. We collected it personally, but if you would like to expand it, we will have to pay a little fee for more data. We've got some subscriptions there. We can also get a bigger database of these trees available in this area, and that's how can we expand it.
Okay, thank you.
The cost is roughly 500 zlotys, so it's not that much.
Thank you for the presentation and for answering the questions. So let's try to connect with the team from Bierun Challenge. That will be our last presentation today. We will be a bit behind the schedule, so let's just start. Let's test
Hello,
the
can
environment.
you hear me once again?
Yes, we're looking forward to see.
Before I
the
present, I would like
solution.
to apologize because unfortunately I lost internet connection and everything crashed. And let's hope that this time we can manage through the entire presentation without any problems. So in a moment, I will share my screen. And can you see the presentation right now?
Yes. So
Is everything visible?
Yes, so we
Sure,
can
thank
start.
you.
Thanks.
So, welcome everybody. We'd love to present you Interaktywna Mapa Bierunia, a platform that helps you find a common language with your citizens. Bieruń, we hear you. We understand your needs and the needs of citizens. We understand that the information about investments is hard to read, that residents don't have a platform to express their opinions, and that residents fear the new investments. For you as a city council, you want to show the people where nearby city consultations are. We also want to provide you with a modern tool to visualize the city. And let's not forget, you do not want to be recognized as a land of factories and mining. We all know that Bieruń is so much more than that. Contact with citizens is complicated because the comments are scattered all over Facebook and not in one place. Our solution aims to serve everyone, the young, old, citizen, the investor, everybody. It gives amazing visualization in plenty of different ways. It breaks the communication barrier, provides space to express opinion, and tools for green city planning. Our app solves every problem that you provided in the requirements of the project, but also every single one that you set in every conversation. We have also enhanced our vision with the state-of-the-art technologies such as AI, AR, 3D modeling, and buff calculator, which gives us the one and only product, Interactive Bieruń Map. The app styling is very simple and intuitive. The app has 3 modes of viewing content: simple, advanced, and community mode. Thanks to that, less technical people will have a good experience. On the other hand, professional users still have a powerful tools. The site has an option to customize the appearance for people with disabilities and special needs. First, we want to introduce you to the list of suggestions made by every app user. The list on the left displays exemplary posts, which have comments, likes, dislikes, and shares. You name it, you have it. You can even sort and filter all of them. Take a look at this beautiful post. Citizen can place comments that make an impact. Also, a city representative can place a comment that will be marked by a special icon. All posts will be filtered by our automatic moderator. Proposal creation is insanely easy. You only need to fill 3 things, and if you want to, you can add additional information. Now, let's check the investments. It makes understanding the investment so easy, so no one will be afraid that it destroys anything. Here is an example of a single investment. It's very simple to see where it is on the map, who creates it, read a brief description, and still see all the documentation that is necessary. Users will also be able to propose different places for the investment, as well as see the 3D model. The citizens didn't like the 2D visualization of the nursery. There was a beautiful model, but people could not see just 2 photos of it. Thanks to us, you can see the entire thing and play with it from every possible angle. System Oznak is a batch system that was created for showing strong aspects of a particular investment. Here is the form for creating an investment. The investors can fill in all the information so that any citizen, the young, old, will understand your investment. Now, let's talk about possibility of showing a local development plan on the map. Here we can show that certain areas are protected or serve as economic zones. If you want to place an investment there, you will be warned and suggestion of a different place will be provided. Now, let's move to the advanced mode. everybody has some great ideas, right? Technology should not stop anybody. Just write your desire, and embedded AI image generation will help you visualize it and allow others to understand your vision. Your great idea that you can post, development, but sustainable. To make it easier, you can calculate BAF metric and make sure that you're eco-friendly. The BAF metric explains how eco your investment or building is. You can go further and make it more precise by using graphical BAF calculator, which is easier to use. Now, let's move to our community mode. This mode consists of property, sales, and rental listings, as well as announcements and events. As you can see, the city private companies and individual users can insert offers for rental and sale. Announcements and events can be added by city officials, individual users, and charities, such as fundraising and charity events. And more important one, planned renovation works in the city will be marked. Now, we also have an email notification system. The system will provide you with the most interesting information of the month. You can customize it. If you provide your current district, you receive announcements, investments, and events from that district. And using the website on mobile devices, you can try AR mode that allows you to visualize as if it was right next to you. But why limit ourselves to Bieruń? We are certain that our solution will be applicable in every single city in Poland. And here you can see the technologies we used in our solutions. Our team has a substantial experience in all of them. We understand that creating such app is a process that requires time and hard work. We took it into consideration and spread the work on the following 5 months. And here we present.
Yes,
okay,
let's have a look.
I will just show our team and the live demo without talking. I just wanted to present our beautiful team members and the demo from the app. It displays the investment, and here you can see the beautiful visualization in 3D. Thanks to that, people won't be afraid of the investment and will be able to clearly understand where it is, what it changed, and of course, why it's changed it. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. We are happy that we were able now to flawlessly see the presentation. And I hope that representatives of Bieruń City have some questions, and also our jury members could maybe ask you something in addition to your presentation.
Of course, I'm glad to answer any questions.
Yes, first I want to thank you, our teams, for working about our solve to our problem, and thank you, the Blitz, for energetic presentation of our solution.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you liked it.
Some questions we have now. Can we see monitoring how many people use it?
Unfortunately, you would have to repeat the question because I couldn't understand it clearly. I'm sorry.
Can we see how many people use it? Use
the app?
Yes.
There's no problem in that. It can be added, and it is a very simple addition, thanks to which the city council, anyone who is willing to, will be able to see how many people, the traction on the site, how many people used it in even a given month. Surely we can propose such analytical data. There's no problem about that.
Thank you. Is it possible to add alerts that a new comment has
Of
appeared?
course, such alerts do exist. I'm very sorry. I will share my screen once again, and let's move, for example, to this screen. Is it seeable? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Here we have a bell. I'm very sorry, I forgot to mention such thing. There will be accounts that do not need filling a lot of information because we want the app to be simple. And of course, notifications will be provided where person can see that, oh, an answer was provided to my comment.
Thank you.
Thank you very much once again.
It's all.
So thank you for all the presentations, all the teams that, okay, Marta,
yeah,
still,
one last question, please, because it was really inspiring presentation and wide scope of functionalities, but yes, what is the core of the app, and what is that core you will be able to implement until the end of April?
until the end of April. I'm very glad you asked that question. It is very interesting. Once again, I'm sorry. I will share my screen. Of course, the propositions right here, the investments right here are, there's no problem in implementing such things. And it was shown in the demo that we can serve through the investments, we can pick one, we can see the 3D model. So those things are already implemented. The 3D model view, which we created, we used a library, and thanks to that, we can display any 3D model. So that is also already implemented. The accounts are not a huge problem. The data of how many people use the app, also not a problem. Well, first, of course, we would focus on the simple implementation, which is quite already implemented. It wouldn't take much time. So about that, about the advanced settings, the BAF calculator and the graphical BAF calculator are already implemented. Those are screens from the implementation. Those are our side products that we decided to use because I think they're great and they would serve the city. And AR, our friends already have a project on AR. That's why we decided to list it. And generating AI things wouldn't be a problem, as it would be, we would be using an already created Stable Diffusion model. We would just allow people to very simply use it. So when it comes to development, I think that surely we would manage the time as we have the right knowledge about it, and we could provide also a roadmap on how.
Okay, and what about the cost of these additional components for the city?
Well, you would have to unfortunately ask the question a bit more precisely. Do you mean what would be the additional cost for us to implement it?
No, for then when city wants to use this all additional components like AR, AI model, would it be additional cost for that?
For AI model, there would be additional cost. It wouldn't be huge. We could calculate it based on the data that we collected. We could collect the data, as it was previously mentioned, on the fact how many people visited the site, how many people generated an image. We could create data analysis spreadsheet, as I specialized in it, and we could calculate if there are any alternatives that would be cheaper. But to sum it up quickly, yes, generating, for example, AI images would cost, but it isn't like a huge cost. It's manageable. We would have a precise answer in case if we had more time to analyze it, of course.
Great, thank you very much.
And moreover, I'm sorry, I would also like to add that probably as a city project, it would be a project that a lot of people would use. Surely we could get a discount on such thing.
Okay, so thank you for that presentation. Actually, yeah, once again, thanks to all of you. We are a bit behind the schedule, so I really hope that we can start on the suggested time, which was 5 p.m. with the announcements of the results. But please just follow Discord, because now we will have that jury deliberation part. So we still have to put all the points and sum it up. And before that final part and the announcement of the jury decisions, we still need that discussion part. So we are just moving there smoothly, and yeah, see you in the other meeting. So I hope all of you got invites and you'll be able to join the meeting without any technical issues. And yeah, in case of any delays, we will just inform you via Discord. So thank you for all the presentations, and see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.